Let's talk Vikings players with the biggest question marks heading into training camp, baby. Let's go. All right, welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus Show. I'm Onebar. I'm rolling solo today. Lupagus is off the grid, and I will be joining him very soon for some beers, but I wanted to rip out a quick video. In this show, I am doing biggest question marks, players with the biggest question marks heading into training camp. Question mark can be, are they going to make the team? What's their role going to be? Pretty much anything and everything. Let me know in the comments who your biggest question marks are going into training camp. And I say going into training camp because usually you get a pretty good sense pretty damn early where these players are going to start to fall on the depth chart. You can get a good feel if you're going to make the team, blah, blah, blah. Let's do it. First guy up, boom, DJ freaking Bynum. And he's on the list. I mean, he's 25 years old, last year of his contract. Former fourth-round pick who has definitely outperformed his draft stock as that fourth rounder. I mean, when he was drafted, I was not excited. But he's come on. He's got 15 career sacks. He's been a nice piece. He started in a pinch and has performed. But the question mark here is, for me, does he even make the team? Luigi Villain, undrafted free agent last year, made the 53-man roster. We got Patrick Jones, we got Davenport, and hopefully Danielle Hunter as our starters. But then you got guys like Andre Carter, and I already mentioned Patrick Jones, Luigi Villain. I mean, they're going to move on from DJ Bynum next year anyways. So maybe they just cut bait 1 year early. It's easy to say, oh, let's just get rid of DJ Bynum for some of these unproven guys. I mean, it's definitely a risk. But Bynum, I mean, not to take anything away from Bynum, there's a ton of Bynums out there. He can get to the quarterback. Like I said, 15 sacks last couple of years. But his run defense is not really fantastic. And honestly, I hope they do move on from him. I would love to see like what these other guys, especially Patrick Jones, anybody watching the show knows how high I am on him. He could possibly be the future at edge, one of the future pieces at edge for the Vikings. So I say, let's see what we got in them. We're going to lose Bynum next year anyways. Let him go out there. And you know what? Picture him in a real nice Bengals uniform. We'll see. You can never have enough good edge rushers, guys who can get to the quarterback. So it's not an easy decision, but I think Bynum definitely is a big old question mark. Next up, another guy, real quick, Ty Chandler. And Ty Chandler, this isn't more so if him making the team. I mean, crazier things have happened as far as guys getting cut. But my question mark for him is, are they actually going to use him? Are they going to anoint him as the number 2 running back to Alexander Mattison? Everything that everybody wants to see this. We barely saw him last year, 6 rushes for 20 yards in 2022. Granted, you got Dalvin Cook, you got Alexander Mattison. It's tough for anybody to see the field, but he's the perfect 1-2 punch. Mattison, tough, hard-nosed runner, ain't going to be sexy. He's going to get those yards. Ty Chandler comes in. He could potentially be that breakout guy. Not even going to try to compare him to Dalvin Cook, but he's that big play guy, runs a 4.38, who could just take it to the house. We need us some Ty Chandler. Nothing crazy. 5 to 8 touches a game, whatever. Let's start baby steps. But I'm hopeful they just put him as that number 2. Question marks being Trey McBride. What are they going to do with Kenny Nwangu? What are they going to do there? Is Alexander Mattison just going to be the steed the entire game? What are they going to do? But Ty Chandler, want him, need him, got to have him. Third guy, Andrew Booth Jr. And this one's kind of depressing. I mean, my question mark is, does this guy suck? Is he just a complete bust? I know it's very early. I know it's extremely early to call anybody a bust, but I haven't heard shit from this guy. And then in this draft, they're drafting cornerbacks. I mean, Blackman is already ahead of Booth Jr. on the depth chart. Caleb Evans, last year's 4th-round pick, already ahead of Booth Jr. on the depth chart. So he's already got ground to make up, and you haven't heard anything from him this offseason. I mean, maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. I don't think it's overly fantastic. And then we go and sign Joanne Williams, guys like that who are also question marks. He could get buried, and he could get buried pretty damn quick. He needs to come out in training camp and in preseason games and, number 1, not be hurt, and number 2, whoop little ass. He was a big talker last year, which got everybody excited. He needs to back it up, and he needs to do it real quick because otherwise everyone's going to be hopping on that Mekhi Blackman train, choot, myself included, and Andrew Booth Jr., 2nd-round pick, could be a bust. And he was a question mark coming out of the draft. I mean, that's why he went in round 2. He was looked at as a talent-wise, a first-round guy, but the injuries made him a question mark, and the Vikings said, got to have him. So Andrew Booth Jr., come on, baby. Let's have ourselves a year Let's go to the last one, Cam Bynum. And this one, Cam Bynum is my question mark because how long are they going to let him hold down the starting job? We got Lewis Seen. I mean, they're not going to force it, but at some point you got to force Lewis Seen out on the field to see what he can do. We already know that Josh Metellus, they're already doing these wonderful plays and position changes to get him out on the field. They've already talked about that. Are they going to do the same thing with Cam Bynum? Bynum was a cornerback in college. Are they going to get fancy with him? Are they just going to put Lewis Seen out there and Bynum's all of a sudden a backup? I think Bynum is definitely a player who can start at safety in this league. I don't think he's overly fantastic. I don't think he's a liability. He's been a nice 1-2 punch with Harrison Smith. He's been very lucky, and we've been very lucky that we had Harrison Smith out there because I don't think Cam Bynum can hold down the safety position alone. But he's good. He's good enough to be on the team. But what are they going to do with him? And how long until Lewis Seen is just anointed that other safety spot? Because it's got to happen. So those are my 4 question marks. I know there's a ton of question marks out there, especially along the defensive line, wide receiver as well. But those are my biggest ones that I'm looking forward to hopefully getting answers for very quickly in training camp. And remember, this year, there's no cuts. I mean, there's just one cut. They go from 90 to 53 right at the end. So some of these question marks, like the DJ Wanham, we might be waiting a while. But let me know. Comments. Those are my big player question marks. Would love to hear yours. I'm sure some of them probably have a lot to do with the kicker. We'll be back tomorrow doing our prediction video with beers in hand. And we'll be back soon talking Vikings.